Hello, welcome back to Buckle Up. My name is Rob Wilson.
And I'm Harry King, and today we're looking at the facelifted Kia Soul EV. Okay, so there's been a full range, and I say range for a reason, facelift of the Kia Soul EV, in which they've gained two variants, where there used to be only one.
Yes, so there used to be a Kia Soul EV, there's now Urban or Explore. This one is the Urban, and it's finished in this rather fetching Mars orange, even though it's red.
There's very minor cosmetic changes to the exterior of the car, and generally, as you look at it, there's not a lot to see. The one thing I'd like to point out,
go on,
it no longer says Soul here. That's my main takeaway. But otherwise,
that's it, really.
A lot of the changes
underneath
are underneath.
Yeah.
But we'll take you for a quick spin around the vehicle, just in case you haven't seen our review of the pre-facelift car. So as you can see, it's a very boxy shape, two-box design. It's a SUV, allegedly.
It's a hatchback.
It is a hatchback. It's B segment, and it's a 39.2 kilowatt hour battery in the Urban, or a 64 kilowatt battery in the Explore.
Yeah.
But Rob, my question to you is, how big's the boot? We'll go take a look.
Yeah.
Hello there. So, the boot of the Kia Soul is under here, and it's 315 litres. It has a false floor, a bag for your charging cables, and this rather stylish, it's almost Range Rover-esque.
It is a bit Range Rover-esque.
Folding parcel shelf, which it's not on a string like you're used to with a hatchback. With the seats folded down, your capacity goes up
to 1,339 litres.
Which is quite a lot.
It's a lot.
That's thanks to the very boxy form factor of this car, so you can fill it right up to the roofline, no bother at all. But Rob, how are the rear seats?
Well, we're going to find out. So, we're now in the back. Well, I'm in the back.
Not we.
No, you're there.
Yes.
I'm here.
You're in the back because you're taller than me.
Yep.
Do you have enough room?
Yes, I have this seat set in the same position as the driver's seat, which is set up in my driving position. And look at that.
You've got knee room.
Knees actually fit behind.
Little cutouts in the chairs for your knees as well.
Headroom. Even if I stretch, I can't touch the ceiling. That doesn't happen in many cars.
Do you have a fold down armrest?
No, there's nothing here.
And there's no seat back pocket on the driver's seat?
No, it's just on the passenger side. But you do get two USB-Cs down there, but there's no ventage for climate back here.
And the door pockets are really just bottle holders, aren't they?
They are bottle holders, yeah.
So, fit for purpose, but not the most kitted out rear seats.
No,
by any means.
But for example, the MG4 has the same.
Yeah.
It just has chargers, doesn't have any vents.
Any B segment hatchback.
Yeah. So it's not any worse than any other.
What you do
rivals.
have is lots of space.
You do. Lots of space.
3 seat belts. Isofix on both the outer seats.
Yep. Windows go all the way down.
Windows go all the way down, so great for kids and quite good for adults as well, actually, thanks to the headroom.
Yeah, this is great. I could sit here for ages.
But what's it like for adults in the front?
I think it'll be quite nice.
Well, let's see. So yeah, here in the front, it's quite lovely actually. Important changes compared to the pre-facelift car, what is now the Explore.
Yep.
Is materials in here have gone down the more budget route.
Yeah, but this is a more budget car.
But this is a more budget car. You do make a significant saving opting for the Urban, but you retain things like the interesting styling round the side air vents.
Yep, this is all nice.
A soft touch dashboard.
Soft. This is
massively practical centre console.
Yeah.
You've got cup holders. You've got a little cubby behind the electronic parking brake. And you've got a big cubby up here for your phone wheel, your power in it, and you've got another set of door pockets on the inside of the car, as well as ample door pockets in your doors.
Yeah, and you've got the same sort of setup as you had in the Explore, or what would have been called the Explore before, which is your screen with your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto in the middle, vents at the top, Sure.
This is a slightly smaller screen, though.
It is a slightly small screen, but it's the same layout. You've got physical climate control buttons and dials, which is good. And then you've got USB-C and 12-volt socket. So plenty of ways of charging. Glove box, yes. Damped.
Lovely.
And it's a decent size.
Sunglasses holder. Damped.
Damped. Most important feature in a car. Forget rear cross traffic alert.
You've got mirrors.
Yes, mirrors on.
With a little card holder jobby.
This doesn't have a light on this side.
Neither does this.
Oh, okay.
But you got lights here, Rob.
Oh, you do? Fabulous, isn't it? I much prefer this traditional setup to, let's say, the ID3 and the MG4.
Let's say.
As an example, where everything is in the screen. And yes, I know you can do certain things through steering wheel functions, but it's not the same as just being able to reach down and change that around, because you know for certain where those buttons are, because that's where they've been in cars forever.
Yes.
So you can do it without even really thinking about it. So therefore, you're concentrating on the road.
Yes. Oh, and adjustment.
Go on, yes. Lots
of adjustment there.
Yeah.
It's all manual, but you have height adjustment, obviously, on the driver's side.
Yeah.
Nothing on the passenger.
No. But I can do the old. Way.
So that's quite good.
Yeah.
On a ratchet rather than... Oh, that's a bit far forwards now. There we go. On a ratchet rather than on a dial. And backwards and forwards.
Yeah.
Naturally.
You do still have a digital cluster.
There's a lot that you still get.
Yeah.
So you might be thinking, oh, but I wanted a leather steering wheel. But you get radar cruise control and auto steer and all of that stuff. And I don't know about you guys, but I would take that really fancy and advanced tech over a steering wheel that will turn shiny and sticky in a few years' time.
Definitely.
Because this will be great for years.
We will.
Jasper would hate it. But he's not here.
He's not here, so he can't say anything. We can be normal people.
Speaking of normal.
Yeah.
Instead of talking about this car sitting in a car park, shall we do the normal thing and go for a drive?
Drive, yes. Let's do that. Now.
Okay, so here we are in the car, in the urban Soul EV. They've finally introduced an entry-level or more entry-level version of the Soul EV. So this has basically a 40 kilowatt-hour battery.
Basically nothing.
39.2 kilowatt-hour battery. And it's less powerful.
What's it beeping at?
It thinks it's 50, even though it's 70. The map knows it's 70, but the car thinks it's 50.
Oh, is it because it saw the sign for the on-ramp saying max 50? Well, it's going to keep beeping at me now forever, because that's what new cars do.
How's it driving?
Do you know what? It's very nice. These seats are quite comfortable. I prefer cloth seats generally. I don't have things like heated seats, but again, the cloth seats, you don't really need them.
The thing we haven't covered is, this is the entry-level version with the smaller battery. So what's the range, Jeeves? It's 171 miles combined WLTP, and Kia estimate a city range of 252 miles. So if you live in a city, this makes a lot of sense, and it makes a lot of sense price-wise, because this is, I'm going to say only, and people in the comments may be cross, but it's only £32,845. But the reason I say only is because I'm thinking about cars like the Mini Electric.
Yep.
Or the Honda E.
Yep.
Or, well, basically any other electric car apart from the MG4.
Yeah, in this price point. Well, the Aura Funky Cat.
How much is that?
32, 33.
So the same price?
Yeah.
So this represents good value.
Oh yeah.
It's more interesting.
This is massive compared to those cars.
And you might look at the boxy shape and think, well, it's not particularly efficient. It is. From having driven the pre-facelift. The efficiency is absolutely grand. Yeah,
I think that the claimed efficiency on the Urban is 3.85 miles per kilowatt hour. Is that how you is that electric speak? I don't know. I know that 4 is really good.
Yes.
So 3.85 is is really good because
Yes.
that's basically 4.
Yes.
In my maths.
The seats are nice.
It's comfortable, and actually the suspension, that road that we were just on, it was appalling.
Yes.
And what size wheels has this got? I'm going 31 miles an hour. 17s, and some of those potholes were lethal back there. But it copes with them.
Yes.
It didn't crash through the cabin, and you didn't hear the dashboard
rattle. That is the other. Yeah. So
these are really well built.
Really well built. Because the higher trim one is near as damn it 40.
Yeah.
And for my money, when I tested one, it was worth that money.
On the interior,
it's 60.
So interior-wise,
yes,
we have spoken about how some of the materials aren't as nice as in the top spec cars that we've driven previously, but I do like the fact that they've at least made it interesting. Still,
yes.
It's got the weird air vents. It's got these like textured white bits, so it's not completely black or completely grey. They've put like little silver touches where you would want them, like on the starter button, on the not gear selector, drive selector,
aircon,
yeah,
dials,
on the regen paddles are silver, and they're not metal, but they feel nicer than if it was just a piece of black plastic.
I like the way that there's this sculpted little trench around the front of the dashboard.
Yes, it's like
a Jag.
It is like a Jag, like the XE, isn't it? Yeah.
XE and XF.
Yeah.
And then there's this kind of pod in the middle.
I like
that
the pod.
has the radio and media in it, and then 2 air vents, and it means it integrates it all into the dashboard in a way that's eye-catching without being, I've stuck an iPad on the dashboard.
Yes, quite. And it's got physical buttons.
Shortcuts, radio, media, start, so you'll be able to add your own shortcut there.
Yeah.
Seek, track, setup,
Yep.
on-off volume dial, tune dial, full aircon controls, 1-zone climate control here. And you've got shortcuts on the steering wheels as well, and they're all real buttons too.
Yep. And they're easy to use, easy to figure out. I can figure them out. If I can figure them out, then it is simple to use.
Yes.
Because I am a druid. But I really think that this stuff will appeal to, like, I feel like people who look at this car are after something a bit like wacky or different.
Yeah.
And people who fit into that category won't want everything in a touchscreen.
No.
Like me. So I'm so glad that the people are still making cars with physical climate
And also,
buttons.
I feel like the other kind of person looking at this is someone who wants a slightly more, I mean, even in this spec, a slightly more premium experience than getting one of the really little electric cars or the MG4.
Yeah.
And I know, like, a lot of people naturally gravitate towards the ID3. Mm-hmm. And every time someone asks me, should I buy an ID3? I say, go and drive a Kia Soul EV.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, but the range isn't as high. And I went, I promise, in the real world, the Kia Soul EV will do its range.
The Hyundai Motor Group, all of their electric cars
do their range.
Do the range that they say they're going to do when you set off.
Yeah.
The ID3, despite being rear-wheel drive, isn't actually that fun to drive.
No.
Whereas,
I mean, it's not bad, but...
No, it's fine. It's just a bit boring. This, even though it's front-wheel drive, still feels like fun. Playful, yeah. You can chuck it around a bit. Chuckable. Do you have modes in this?
Yes. Drive mode. So we're now
Oh, crikey, yes.
Oh, is that sport?
Yes, it got a bit eager then.
And then eco.
Right, yeah, that's eco plus. Normal.
Then we can hold for eco plus, can't we?
Does that? No, that shuts off the.
That shuts off everything.
The aircon.
And then you're back in eco, then normal. Let's go in sport.
Oh Christ! Yeah.
Yeah, we'll really significantly increase the throttle attack.
Yeah. What is the acoustics like in the interior of the new Soul?
It's very quiet. There's not a lot of road noise. I'm not getting a lot of wind noise, which you might be worried about with such an upright form factor.
Yeah, but it's not at all, really.
Of course, the Soul is all about music.
Oh, yes.
So, I'm going to turn the radio on and turn it up, and probably we'll have some music ADR'd in to the video.
Yeah. But we'll tell you if it's good or not.
But we'll be quiet now so I can pretend that we're listening to the music you're hearing.
Wilson and Kate Pearson.
It's the news. I don't think this is the intended purpose of the...
Just go round the roundabout and I'll try to find something else.
Anyway, the stereo is pretty good.
The stereo is lovely.
I've got the cruise on. I'm setting it to 70, and it's just following the truck in front, and it's steering for me.
How nice of it. That is, I mean, we're just acting like that's normal. That is really good.
No, it's really good. Very good. You can't underestimate how much less tired you feel at the end of a long journey when you've got a system like this.
Yes.
I'm a massive petrol head, and I love being able to drive my car and be as involved in it as possible. And I always thought that this stuff was a complete gimmick.
Yeah.
Until I've used it, and then I've gone, wow, that makes such a huge difference to doing long drives.
And you don't use cruise like normal cruise control.
No, I don't.
You don't see the point.
No. I would only use it if it was adaptive and it was doing itself, otherwise I can't be arsed. And this just completely takes everything away from me. I've got my hands, well, one hand, because I'm waving it about.
Yeah.
But I've got hands on the steering wheel, and it's keeping me in the lane. It's not bouncing me from one side to the other. It's following a safe distance. Basically, I'm just here to make sure it doesn't do something stupid. This is very... You could do lots of miles in this car. You could do as many miles as it has on its display.
Well, yes, and then it charges in not very much time.
I know that you can charge it overnight.
Charge it overnight on a 7 kilowatt charger. It's 6 hours, actually. So you could also charge it while you were at work.
Yeah. If you live somewhere that or work somewhere that has chargers, a lot of places do now. If you go to a physical office, or even like hospitals or stuff like that, I know they've got them popping up.
Yeah, it does really, because of the square bonnet and the way you sit up and look down on the bonnet and then the road, you get that SUV vibe where you feel in command, but in a nice small car that's economical.
Yeah. And efficient
and pleasant to own. It's a car that really conveys a feeling of just being really well put together.
Yeah.
Even with this more base spec, where the materials aren't as high standards, so you start talking about perceived quality. But the thing is, this is actually a quality item, even though it's got squidgy plastic rather than leather or leatherette or whatever else.
But as you say, that doesn't bother me.
No, it doesn't bother me either, but I can feel everything's really solid. And it feels... weighty isn't the right word, but substantial.
Yes.
In a way that a small car generally doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, now that I've driven one, and I've driven this car's two main rivals, I would put it above the ID3.
Yeah.
And then it literally comes down to cost.
Yeah.
Have you got more money to spend, yes or no?
Yeah.
If you have, then go for this. If you haven't, then go for the MG4.
But I do think this is worth the extra money.
Yeah.
If you have the extra money.
Yeah, for me it is, because I like this setup.
Yeah.
But some people want the futuristic stuff, and I get that. Or they might not want an SUV looking car.
Yes.
They might want a traditional hatchback, in which case one of the other two would be the better option. And if you're going to pick an MG4 or an ID3, by the way, spoiler alert, you should pick the MG4, because it looks better, it drives better, the interior is as equal to the Volkswagen, and I just like it more.
I think the problem is I don't think this is getting overlooked compared to the ID3. It's getting overlooked compared to the Nero. The Nero is massively popular, and with good reason. It's also a great car, but this feels like like a rung up on the niceness scale.
Well, because the Nero was the 4th best-selling electric car in the UK
last year.
Yeah, in 2022. So, and this wasn't even in the top 10.
No.
Which I think is a real shame, because it's a really good car.
Hopefully,
it's underrated.
This new version will help redress the balance, because I think a lot of you could get the smaller battery in the Nero, and I think a lot of people were getting the smaller battery in the Nero and saving their money. And they kept going, oh well, they're the same price, but the Nero's got a bigger boot, therefore it's the one I should get. Drive information. 4.5
kilowatt.
Wow.
So that's really efficient.
Really impressive. Yeah, I can get on board with that.
It's definitely fast enough, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
It's compared to an equivalent 130 horsepower petrol engine. It's way quicker.
Yeah.
In that 0 to 45.
Well, so if you gave me a nice car and said, oh, it's 10 seconds to 60, you'd be like, oh, that's a pretty slow car.
Yeah.
Handles the weight well.
Use of the independent rear suspension.
I'm actually getting relatively good feedback from this steering.
Yeah, I thought that it's not dead.
No.
Or dull, or...
It's light.
It is light, but it's not void of feedback.
No.
Do you think there's a room for electric in your life at the minute?
Oh yeah. I'd have one of these.
Yeah, I know you would.
But of any electric car, this is probably the one I would get. It feels a very nice size.
Yes,
driving down a road like this.
It's not like all the excellent cars, the EV6 and the Ioniq 5. They are wide.
Yeah.
And they feel wide when you meet something coming the other way.
Yeah.
This is just over 1.8 meters wide, so it's normal car width. So you're not going to have problems in a narrow car park or on a back road or whatever.
So Rob, I think we've driven this one enough. Shall we go and take a drive of the Explore version of the Soul EV?
Let's do that now. Right, we're now in the Explore version of the Kia Soul EV, which is basically the version that you've driven already.
Pretty much.
So that means that in this car, I now have a leather steering wheel and some piano black trim on the steering wheel, as opposed to it being other plastic. I've got a bigger screen.
10.25 inches.
Yeah, I've got heated seats.
Yeah.
Heated steering wheel.
Yeah.
Parking sensors, not just a camera. So, everything.
Everything.
Because you've still got all of the same stuff that you had on the old car.
And importantly, you've got 280 miles of range. Feel the extra power.
Yeah, go on then. Here
Full 204 PS.
Ready?
It pulls for longer.
Yes. Because the other car was sort of running out about 45.
Yeah.
Whereas this went all the way up to 60 there. Yeah. Without any trouble at all.
This is within spitting distance of £40,000.
Yeah. But you're getting a 280 mile range.
Yeah.
With a 64 kilowatt hour battery.
Yeah. £39,045 OTR.
Okay, so that's including any taxes and VAT, etc.
Well, except it's an EV, so there won't be any tax, will there?
No, because it's under 40,000.
Yeah. I want to read you,
please,
the acronyms of the active safety and driving dynamics and see if you can name them.
Oh God. Okay.
ABS,
anti-lock brakes,
ESC,
traction control.
Yeah. FCA.
That is a Fiat Chrysler group.
No, Forward Collision Avoidance Assist.
Oh, okay.
LFA.
That's a Lexus.
Lane Follow Assist.
Yeah.
BCA.
They're an auction house.
a blind spot collision avoidance assist.
Okay. Well, that was good to know.
Yeah, that'll all be cut out.
The layout's the same of everything. They've just made everything a little bit nicer.
Still single zone climate.
Yep.
But obviously you get your heated seats now.
Yep.
But it's the same
Which
power.
are working an absolute treat. I'm testing them out at the minute, and the heated steering wheel heats all the way around the wheel. Some of them don't do the top bit, like the Subaru that I had, because I think
so attempt to get you to hold the steering wheel in the correct place.
They don't want you to do a Jasper and
or a me
and Palm.
And you have an electric seat now.
I do have an electric seat,
but I don't.
No.
So it's driver only electric seat.
But it feels very similar, apart from the fact that when you put your foot down, it's noticeably quicker.
Yeah.
And the fact that my range says 280 miles.
And it's less than an hour to top it up.
Yeah, on a fast charge.
Which I know isn't astoundingly fast, but you're not buying one of these if you're always doing long journeys.
No.
But it means you can do long journeys in it.
Yeah. Personally, if I was buying a Soul, I would want the more power and more range, because not necessarily from a range point of view, but I like more power.
Yeah.
And this is, was it 204 PS?
204 PS.
So that's sort of like
7.8 to 62.
Yeah. I don't know if it's. I guess it must be just all Hyundai Kia products, but I feel like their steering weight is pretty much spot on in all of their cars.
Yes.
I just applaud it for being different. I hate everything looking the same.
Yeah.
Like, they could have very easily just made it a crossover and given it generic crossover styling.
Yeah.
But they didn't. And they've had the opportunity to get rid of it and just stick with the Nero. Or improve it and try and refine it, and that's what they've done.
Yeah.
And they've done it very well, and it's very successful as an overall package in that regard. Right. I'm sorry, but we've just demolished an M2 off the line in eco mode in the Soul EV. And that is proof, if you should need it, that electric cars
are
superior.
And that the Kia Soul EV is faster than a BMW M car.
Yep.
Definitive.
Yep.
Journalistic integrity.
Yep.
Other differences, exterior differences for the Explorer. You get roof rails.
Yes.
And you get the SUV pack.
You do. Right, here we go.
Oh, God.
Well, I mean, it grips.
Yeah.
Should we put it in sport? Where is it again? Drive mode. Normal. Sport. Oh, heavens.
That makes a big difference.
Yes. I would have absolutely demolished that M2 if we were in sport. That's very good, isn't it?
Yeah, that's quick. Oi.
Bloody hell.
Handling and suspension is just as well sorted as it is on the other model. In fact, it's impressive how similar the suspension feels, considering that this is a significantly different weight.
Yes, 140 kilograms heavier.
And yet it's still managing the road surface in pretty much the same way. Well, I think I should have a go now.
Yeah, go on then.
And now I'm driving. Wow.
That was quick.
That was, what a Jaguar. Transitions, my man. This is very similar to the pre-facelift car, I must admit.
Yeah. Well, it is the same.
Pretty much, yeah.
Just that they've given it some extra fancies. But that's a nice surge of torque, isn't it?
And you know, I'm me, so into sports mode we go.
Yep. How does it feel on some back roads?
Feels pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, as good as I remember.
Yeah, because
I mean, it's not. I know it's got warm hatch speed. I'm not going to pretend it's got hot hatch handling.
No. We're not saying that.
But it's good handling.
It's competent, isn't it?
Yeah.
And because you have that independent rear suspension, when we were testing it on Harry Metcalf Road, TM, it wasn't like, it didn't ever bottom out.
No.
And it didn't ever come off the ground.
No.
This is a tall car.
Yes.
And it's not particularly wide.
No.
So you would maybe expect...
It doesn't roll, though.
No. Actually, when I was on Harry Metcalf Road TM,
Yeah.
the back end...
Yes, I saw.
It went over
the line rock.
Which I wasn't expecting. But it wasn't like, oh, God, scary. No. It was just like...
It's exactly what I want a small electric car to be.
Yeah.
And the ID3 isn't. It's comfortable but quick. It has decent range and a decent recharge time. And it's got interesting styling without just being willfully, don't look at me, I'm electric, because this is also...
It doesn't look like a modern BMW is what you're trying to say.
Basically.
Yeah.
It's just as good as I remember, and it feels like that good step up from the Urban in here. And
perceived quality-wise,
and you get that extra range.
Yeah.
And they've definitely done the work to differentiate the two. So I think that all that is left to do, Rob, is to go back and do a cheeky conclusion.
Yes, let's do that. So, Harry, we've driven both the Urban and Explore versions of the new Kia Soul EV.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it's very good.
It is very good.
It's very good.
It's a very competent car. Would you have one over an ID3?
Yes.
Would you have one over an MG4?
Yes.
I would if I wanted the space. But I'd have to think very hard because it's a lot cheaper.
Yes. I think it's worth it, though, to buy this.
No, I think, yes, if you need this kind of car, buy this.
Yeah.
If you want to save yourself money, if you just want the cheapest electric car.
But you want this, buy this one.
This one looks cool.
Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. If you go down to the description, you'll find the links to all of our social medias. And 3 ways to support the channel. We have Patreon.
We do.
We have merchandise that neither of us is wearing at the moment.
It's in the car.
It's a travesty, honestly. And we have channel memberships right here on YouTube, where you can join up for a monthly fee or give thanks for a one-time payment.
Yeah, sure.
That's something. But otherwise, we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.